Hey there, finance enthusiasts. Welcome back to HFS_finance, your go-to channel for the latest insights into the world of finance. Today, we have a fascinating topic to dive into. It's no secret that new details have emerged regarding allegations of corruption involving Joe Biden. However, what's intriguing is the lack of coverage on this by mainstream media. But fear not, because here at HFS_finance, we thrive on providing you with the untold stories. So let's get down to business. Did you know that you can actually calculate the true cost of Joe Biden's corruption and how much it personally affects you? That's right. Buckle up, because I'll guide you through it. Recently, some eye-opening information has come to light regarding Joe Biden's involvement with his son Hunter and Burisma in Ukraine. This revelation raises some serious concerns, especially considering Joe Biden's explicit statement that he never discussed his son's overseas business dealings. It's quite naive of us to have believed this, as it's only natural for fathers to engage in conversations about their children's work. With Hunter Biden's lack of experience, his position on the board of a Ukrainian oil company raises suspicion. Now, we have evidence that Joe Biden's claim was indeed a lie. Hunter Biden's former business partner, Devon Archer, testified before Congress and also shared his insights in an interview with Tucker Carlson. Shockingly, he revealed that not only was Joe Biden aware of Hunter's activities with Burisma, but he even had conference calls with the executives from the company. Can you believe it? These conference calls occurred around 120 times, which is a stark contrast to Joe Biden's initial statement. The implications of Joe Biden's actions in Ukraine, particularly regarding his interference with Ukrainian prosecutor Viktor Shulkin, are highly suspicious. Joe Biden boasted about using $1 billion of U.S. aid to Ukraine as leverage to get the prosecutor fired. While fighting corruption is commendable, the fact that the Biden family was receiving millions of dollars from Burisma, an oil company under investigation by Shulkin, raises significant questions. This turns the tables, suggesting that it was Joe Biden who was involved in corruption, rather than Shulkin. In fact, an FBI F-23 form states that a witness claimed Joe Biden and his son were personally paid $10 million to take action against Shulkin. This amounts to bribery. Hold on, because it gets even more intriguing. The form also mentions the existence of audio recordings to prove this bribery, held as an insurance policy by someone in Ukraine. Supporters of Joe Biden may argue the extent of his involvement in corruption, but the testimony from Hunter's business partner makes it clear that Joe Biden was indeed aware. At the very least, Joe Biden's compromised position in relation to Ukraine raises concerns. Now, let's crunch some numbers and calculate the cost of Joe Biden's corruption. Corruption isn't just about the immediate bribe, it's the long-term impact on decision-making. In this case, we know that Hunter and Joe Biden allegedly received $10 million as a bribe from Burisma, but the real cost lies in the decisions that followed. By analyzing the situation, we can estimate that Joe Biden's corruption, combined with the cost of bad leadership decisions, has amounted to a staggering $113 billion in the war between Ukraine and Russia. Hold onto your seats, because the comparison with Biden's predecessor, Barack Obama, is mind-boggling. During Obama's presidency, when Russia invaded Crimea and eastern Ukraine, the United States spent a grand total of $0 to defend Ukraine. Fast forward to Biden's presidency, and we're looking at $113 billion. It's evident that there's a stark contrast, possibly due to Biden's compromised position in Ukraine. This cost of corruption is catastrophic, and it doesn't even factor in the lives lost during this time. Now, let's talk about China. It's not just Ukraine. Joe Biden's suspicious decision-making extends to the relationship with China. If we examine the strategic decisions Joe Biden has made that favor China, a pattern emerges. From selling off a significant portion of the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve to China, allowing China to build a spy base in Cuba, and failing to hold them accountable for their role in the pandemic, it begs the question, is Joe Biden compromised when it comes to China too? In fact, we have evidence in the form of a letter sent by Joe Biden to Devon Archer following his meeting with the former Chinese president. This directly contradicts Joe Biden's claim that he never spoke to his son about his business dealings. It seems Joe Biden was very well informed. Remember, it is illegal for a vice president to engage in foreign business deals, yet Hunter Biden was doing just that. This raises further questions about possible bribery or leverage China may have over Joe Biden. Now, let's delve into the cost of Joe Biden's questionable decisions regarding China. By analyzing their failure to meet their obligations outlined in the trade agreements, we can estimate that the U.S. is losing approximately $100 billion per year to China. Projecting this calculation to the end of Joe Biden's term, his corruption could potentially cost Americans a staggering $529 billion. And if he were to be re-elected for another 4 years, it could soar over $1 trillion. Just think about the impact this has on each taxpayer. Now, I understand that these numbers and revelations may be overwhelming. After all, this is your hard-earned money we're talking about here. The question that must be asked is whether this colossal sum truly reflects the best interests of the American people or if it's being paid to protect Joe Biden from potential incriminating evidence held against him by someone in Ukraine or China. The decisions being made aren't just theoretical, they have real implications for each and every one of us. So, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Joe Biden is involved in corruption? Let your voice be heard in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, so you never miss out on our upcoming videos. Your support means the world to me as a small channel, especially when demonetization and shadow banning can be challenging obstacles to navigate. Thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, remember to stay informed and keep questioning. Together, we can strive for transparency and accountability in the world of finance.